What is going on, my creatures of the night? Good to see each and every one of you again. Welcome to the fiery pits of eternal hell. In other words, my room. No. You're all good here. There's no pressure. This is just a relaxed video where I'm just opening up and talking. I don't really, this is something I haven't really talked about much on my YouTube channel, but it's something I've always been into. I just don't talk about it a lot. It's kind of like my own thing, sort of. But don't get me wrong, I'm a passionate metalhead. I love metal. I listen to metal. Like, metal is my heart. But I do listen to other kinds of music, and I do respect other cultures. I mean, don't get me wrong, there was a time in my teen years where I was a fucking scene kid, and I can admit that. But if I were to categorize all my music, the two pillars, the two main things I'm inclined with, obviously number one is metal, and number two is anything that's in the goth category. And I'm not just talking the look of goth. I'm talking about the actual music. I'm talking bands like The Cure, Sisters of Mercy, Children on Stun, The Frozen Autumn, The Wake, Switchblade Symphony, Bauhaus, those kind of bands. That's stuff I got into when I was a bit younger, actually, because growing up in Toronto, Toronto had a fairly decent goth industrial scene. Still does. It's not as present as it was back then, but it's still around. There's still goth nights and events happening and all kinds of stuff going on. I used to go to this club called Nocturne, which wasn't an actual goth club. It was just a club that would do goth events and that kind of thing every now and then. It used to be a full-time goth club called Savage Garden, and then they changed it to Nocturne. But that club closed down this summer, actually. I actually went to one of their last events. It was awesome. I missed that place. But growing up, I listened to a lot of Depeche Mode and New Order. And honestly, how I got into goth was I just wanted to find more stuff like Depeche Mode and New Order. Next thing you know, I'm listening to Sisters of Mercy, freaking Lucretia, My Reflection, those songs, and then I'm listening to Nine Inch Nails. I'm listening to The Cure. I think The Cure was one of the first bands outside of the Depeche Mode and stuff that I really got into. I was listening to The Cure. I was listening to The Wake, listening to all kinds of stuff. Joy Division. Gotta show some love for Joy Division, man. I was listening to all kinds of stuff, and don't get me wrong, with metal, we go to shows and we have a good time and stuff, but we can't always do that, and we don't always have the greatest amount of money. So, and sometimes if you're not feeling metal, you want to do something else that's still you, and me, for example, I never went to actual nightclubs because it just wasn't my crowd. It wasn't my music, so I would go to goth clubs. I remember the first time I went to a goth club, they played Master and Servant by Depeche Mode, and I'm like, oh my god, this is great. This is my crowd. These are my people. This is my music. I love this. And they even play some metal shit every now and then. I remember I was, the last one I went to at Nocturne, they played Living Dead Girl by Rob Zombie, and everyone went nuts. Everyone loved it. Rob Zombie's metal, but he resonates with goth too. Then I got into industrial stuff like Skinny Puppy, KMFDM. They were great. I love KMFDM. Front 242, mainly because of my interest in the techno and that kind of stuff. Ministry. I saw Ministry live at Rebel 2 weeks ago. It was a fucking great show. When they played Just One Kiss and NWO, I actually got in the pit. And I haven't moshed in years, so it was nice. I felt young again, It was great. But yeah, no, going to these places, and let me tell you something, being on the floor, on a dance floor, with people who are dressed like you, and who have the same look and the same vibe, and being in that crowd with the lights flashing, and sometimes smoke on the floors, and Children on Stun plays, or like Lucretia, My Reflection by Sisters of Mercy comes on, and you're on that floor. It's an indescribable feeling. These are things you need to experience. I can't even go in detail on what it's actually like. It's an amazing experience, at least for me. And like the thing with goth clubs and with that kind of stuff is, again, I'm with like-minded people and with people I get along with, and I'm easy to get along with. Don't get me wrong. I'm not closed-minded. It's just sometimes you want to vibe with your people and your crowd. You want a place you can call home in that sense. You know. I have friends that go to nightclubs and that kind of, and bars all the time. I go with them sometimes, and yeah, it's not my crowd, but like I'm with my friends. I'm having a good time. Whatever. They're not into what I'm into, so I go to those things and like the goth clubs and stuff, and that's my thing. I do my thing, and you can actually you meet people, you network with people, you enjoy the music. It's not so much about like the drama and the drugs and the drinking and stuff. It's more about like people who are just passionate about goth rock and death rock and that kind of stuff. Like when I was at Nocturne last year for my birthday, 2017, Burn by The Cure came on. It was a song from The Crow. Literally everybody at the bar, everybody got on the floor and started singing along to it. Like, it's just like, it's about the music, it's about the dancing, it's about the people, and that's what I like, people who are just passionate about the music. It's incredible. It's, goth always has a place in my heart, and I watch a lot of goth YouTubers and stuff who have similar experiences in goth clubs and like all kinds of stories and stuff, and it's cool to connect with those kind of people. Growing up, I always thought I was the odd one out because I was the only guy who was into Depeche Mode and stuff, but once I started going out and meeting these people, I'm like, shit, man, this is great. Like, and I still go out, I still do that kind of stuff. Goth never left me. As much as I love metal, goth never left me. It's always got a part of me. I even with like the way I dress and stuff, I kind of combine the two styles a bit. Like I have this like I've always like respected people who like goth. In goth culture, you put a lot of effort into clothing and stuff, and it's a lot of hard work. And sometimes for DIY stuff, people go like nuts with it. It's awesome. I love it. It's creative. It's incredible. I have this one Trip NYC jacket that I still wear sometimes. Actually, it's this long trench coat, and it's got like these like zippers and these chains hooked to it and stuff, and like I can wear that with a Motorhead shirt, and like it looks cool. Like it's great. Goth is about being you. Goth is about expressing you and having your style and doing your thing. Goth is not a specific image. Just like metal. Metal is about being you. Goth is about being you. Everybody's unique. Everybody's got their own style. You go to goth clubs, you see people they got the whole cyberpunk thing going on. Then there's people like me who got the like look like the Undertaker. You've got people like they have the Death Hawk and the makeup and shit. It's incredible. I love it, and I will continue to be a part of that scene as long as it's still around. And if it's not around, I will fight to keep it alive. Goth is just as big of a part of my life as metal is. So it's something I haven't really talked about on YouTube that much because I don't know. Like goth albums are kind of harder to review. Metal albums are easier to review. Goth albums are more like it's more about feelings and emotions and that kind of stuff. And if you guys want me to talk about more goth albums, let me know. Like, I will talk about the feelings and emotions and stuff. I just, it's important to be diverse. You can't close your mind off to one thing. And I've always been diverse. I've never been closed off to metal. Like, metal is my main squeeze, but, like, goth is also a huge part of my life. And, as much as I'm not over the top, well, I mean, I got the eyebrow piercing, I got the tattoos and stuff, but like everybody's got their own look with goth, and me, like I do, I got my own thing going. I'm a bit more simple. Like when I go out, I throw on like a choker or whatever. Everybody's got their own style with goth, and you're never judged. You're only judged if you're looking down on others, if you're judging others, you know. But yeah, no, that's all I gotta say. That's just something I wanted to open up about, and thank you guys for watching and listening to me and hearing me out. You guys are awesome. Rock on. Merry Christmas.